Yo, welcome back everybody to a brand new episode of the Shuffle Pod. Episode number 10. We are now in the double digits. Let's get it. And in this week's episode, we got another special guest. Actually, it is our first crossover episode with somebody who is already running their own podcast. We got the one and only Mellow Magikarp. Yo, what's up, Kevin?
Not much. It feels like it was inevitable, right? Lindsay, you've been on. LDF, you've been on. So I appreciate that you're bringing me on yours.
No worries. Yeah, you were on the list for sure because, yeah, I've been on your Lake of Rage podcast quite a bit. I think the last time I was on was just before Brilliant Stars came out. I remember we were talking about some of the new cards and stuff. I do remember that podcast episode. So, yeah, it's good to have you on. We're excited. Of course, today we do want to talk about what got Mellow into being a content creator. But, of course, this weekend is Peoria Regionals, and we want to kind of talk about the meta, what decks might be good at Peoria, what might be seen play at Peoria, and kind of talk about what the meta might look like going into it. I think right now, as we're recording this, we might have a little bit of knowledge actually as to what some players are playing. I know a few, some of the names are playing decks that like I know what they're playing because I've seen on Twitter already. Day 2 Events is posting photos, and I'm like looking at what they're playing in the photos and stuff. And I think PokeStats is also updating it too. So we'll have to see how that all goes. But that'll be what today's episode is all about. But before we do get into all of that, of course, we got to do our weekly recap. So we will start things off here with Lindsay. How was your week went?
Yeah, my week was, oh my gosh, it was a long week for me. I had a full week of work. It's been a minute since I actually had the entire full week. I've had at least a day off during the week, the past couple weeks. So I did my full week of work, but it went by really fast, actually. And it was a pretty good week. Yeah, I've been precepting some nurses that we've hired. We're hiring a lot of nurses at my job, and we've been fully staffed, which as a nurse, I don't know the last time I don't think I've ever actually like felt the joy and the comfortability and the stability of having a fully staffed workplace. So I'm excited about that. That's been fun. I went to a Win a Case tournament last weekend down in Macon, Georgia. It was like an hour and a half drive. I ended up getting top 8. My buddy Jalen from my locals whooped my butt in top 8. So he got to move forward, and they split top 4. But I played Palkia, and I've been really happy with my results lately. I've been grinding the competitive stuff behind the scenes, and my results are really starting to show. So that's really, really exciting for me. So I got to do that. Out of the packs that I won from getting the top 8, the first pack that I opened, I ripped the alternate art Giratina V, which not only have I ripped a Japanese alt art Giratina V, I also ripped an alt art Giratina V online. So I think something is trying to tell me something. So I might.
Mix up all the Brambles you used to pull and get.
Yeah, when I had like 20 Granbuls and like was ordering stuff online, and like I didn't even order it, and they put a Granbull V in there. I was like, okay, I'm actually being trolled right now. Something, it's weird. But other than that, I'm just really excited that it's the first day of October. I love fall. Same. It's the first day of Halloween. I got my spooky Mimikyu beanie on. So I'm ready. I'm ready for fall. I'm excited. So it's been a pretty good week. So what about you, LDF? How was your week?
My week's been pretty tame. As you said, it is now the first week of October, and I've been preparing for it. I've actually been rewatching The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror in my spare time, because that's what I watch. It's like a tradition for me, is watch every episode of Treehouse of Horror during October. But I just couldn't wait. I wanted to do it now, and I'm probably going to be watching a lot more horror movies as kind of things go on. I know the new Halloween movie's coming out very soon. I'm excited to see that. Smiles out. I don't know if that movie's any good, but I'm still going to see it. But I've been kind of just getting into the Halloween mood. I've also been watching that Jeffrey Dahmer documentary that came out. A lot of people are talking about that, and it's like getting like talked online. It's like the new big thing on Netflix right now. So I've been watching a bit of that too. It's all right. And then yesterday I went to my local league, and they were hosting the first team challenge qualifier. And I won it, so I am now on the team. Let's get it. I won it. I played Reggie with basically 4 path and 2 gift energy, and that's about it. That's really all I changed about my list from Baltimore. I just added 2 gifts, and I played 4 path because everyone's playing Empoleon right now. It's funny though, the qualifier was only 5 people. It was $10 to enter. I guess not many people wanted to register. But actually, one thing is at my league, there's a lot of new people there. So I guess like a lot of the newer people didn't really know what the qualifier was. A lot of the other big players that go to my local league are also at Peoria. So that's probably why the qualifier was so small. It was like Gudra, Giratina, Kieran Palkia, and then just normal Palkia, and then me on Reggie. So I guess I'm on the team now for Manta. So shout out to Manta Trading, of course. They're also sponsoring Pokex Word. Look at that. That's basically all I have done this week. It's been a pretty just kind of tame week. Just been relaxing a lot. Like I said, watching a lot of shows and everything. It's kind of just been chilling in bed mostly. And then, of course, I went to League yesterday and I'm now on the team challenge. My first team challenge. I haven't done one yet, so I'm excited to see how it goes. I know it's in December, so it's actually a ways away, but I'm still excited for it. And I'm glad I'm on the team, so I'm interested to see how it'll all go. But, Mellow, how has your week been?
It's been pretty good. As far as Pokemon goes, I haven't been able to do a whole lot of trading card game stuff because I recently have a newborn. He is a month old as of yesterday. How many days are in September? Whatever. About a month old.
Yeah, 30.
And there we go. Okay, so yeah, he's a month old now, which is super great. I love him. He takes a lot of my time. I am on my last week of paternity leave as well, which is, everything's going to get a lot harder because so far it's been great. You kind of wake up, all right, cool. I'm just going to cuddle a baby for, a few hours and I got my iPad so I can play some Pokemon during that time and all that good stuff. Just kind of like hanging out. And yeah, it's been a really great otherwise because that's all I've been doing. And it's really all I want to be doing right now.
Right.
Yeah. He's like sitting there watching the iPad like, optimal plays.
Future world champ in the making.
No, he always has to turn his head away from the screen. It's like, no, this is bad for you. You'll learn it later, I promise.
Teach him how to play Palkia.
So far, we've been teaching him how to play a lot of Giratina, actually. So if Comfy's still around in the next 6 years, he'll be good.
Maybe do an expanded.
That's awesome, though. Congratulations. I know that's a really big life event, obviously, and that's really awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, big congrats. Big congrats. It's great to hear. And it is nice. I guess you get some time kind of off work, chill with your kid. It's a good time, I would say. Good time for
it. Has been really weird to go off the time off work because I'm a teacher. The year ended in the middle of June and I haven't been back to work yet.
Oh, that's true.
So
that's
it's
true.
Like, I have not worked for like 4 months. Let's see how this goes.
Might be rusty.
Can only hope.
If you are looking to get a great price on any and all Pokemon TCG products, you have to go over to Atlas Collectibles and see their huge selection of Pokemon cards. They have singles, they have sealed products, so you can use that code TSS12 to save yourself 12% on that order. They ship worldwide. You can buy one card, you can buy 100, doesn't matter. Save yourself that 12%. It helps us directly on the channel. But if you don't want any physical cards, then you can head over to ptcgostore.com and use that code TSS5 to save yourself 5% on online codes. Again, all of this directly helps us out here at the Shuffle Squad. And it's time for the Pokex Word puzzle of the week. Yes, that Pokemon. So this puzzle was brought to you by Pokex Word. It is the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. They post new puzzles every day. If you enjoy Wordle, you'll really, really enjoy Pokex Word. It's fun. It's kind of set up similarly to that. You go on you can do it on your phone. You share your results to Twitter, and you can be entered in for a chance to win some free PTCGO codes every month. So make sure you follow them on Twitter as well. So I have the Pokemon for this week. Ha ha ha. And it's going to be LDF versus Mellow here. So are you guys ready to guess that Pokemon?
I'm ready. I
think so.
I'm ready.
Okay. So your Pokemon is going to be 7 letters, and your first hint is the type. It is a darkness Pokemon.
7 letters, dark. Okay.
Gosh, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. It's like I have to spell every Pokemon's name now.
It's actually funny. Just before the pod, I was recording a video on a dark deck that plays a lot of dark Pokemon that you want to put on your bench to do more damage. So let me just run through the deck here and let me just think of all the possible Pokemon that I played in the deck.
Yeah, you have to get. I was 6. So does Galarian count? Or like Kanto?
That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that they have in general been doing the single word Pokemon. So we're going to assume that there's no Hisuian, no Galarian.
7.
No, Alolan. I think it's like it'll just be the Pokemon name.
All right, I think that told me everything I need to know that was not the correct one, then, because otherwise you would have you would have known the answer immediately.
I got a guess.
I also have a guess.
All right, we'll start with you, Mellow.
All right, I'm gonna go with one of my favorite GX Pokemon, Weavile.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Good guess, but no. We'll move on. We'll move on to hint number 2. Hint number 2 is the attack name, Night Days.
Oh gosh, this feels like LDF has a big advantage here.
Yeah. Night Days. Okay, hold on.
Night Days.
Night Days.
Is it Murkrow?
Good guess, but it is not Murkrow.
Ooh.
Gosh.
Yes.
So a dark type Pokemon with Night Days that is 7 letters long. Night Days makes me think.
Wait.
Bro, now the Murkrow. No, LDF's throwing me off.
Wait. I might. No, I'll let you think. I already guessed, but there's another Pokemon that just like I'm like, oh, this is probably the one.
Do we want our hint number 3?
You want to guess?
I'm gonna throw out a guess before we get the hint number 3. I'm gonna throw out more Pico.
Pico.
Good guess, but no. So we'll go ahead and move to hint number 3. So this is going to be the Pokedex entry or the flavor text. If it thinks humans are going to discover its den, blank shows them visions that make them wander around in the woods.
Is it Umbreon?
That's what I thought when I first had read it, but no, it is not Umbreon. It is not Umbreon.
Oh, it's for sure it's Umbreon. Okay, it's a den.
You guys are going to be so upset once you find out what it is.
Oh, no.
Den sound.
Den.
Gosh.
Because I was like, well, Thievul?
Thievul,
That's what I was thinking, right? It was like, okay, but
not.
everything about Thievul's Pokedex entries are something about thievery,
Stealing.
right? Like, yeah, exactly. Let's go with wait, Murkrow.
Murkrow. I already said that.
We said Murkrow? No,
yeah, I already said Murkrow. Honchkrow.
Dang. Wait,
With Honchkrow
is too many letters, I think. What's 5 plus 4? 9? Yeah, it's
9, yeah, Honchkrow, yeah. That's what I was thinking too. Oh, is it Sneasel?
Nope.
No? Really? Oh. Dang.
This is where my lack of so I played Gen 2 and then I played Gen 6 and on, but those middle gens are lacking from my knowledge. And I have a strong feeling this is something that's going to be bodying me here, or it might not, and I might just be totally off base. But
the hint number 4 doesn't help too much, but maybe it does. Hint number 4 is that it's a stage 1 Pokemon.
Stage 1, okay. That narrows it down a little bit more, in all honesty. So
I
it's a
think
dark
it technically
type.
helps.
Yeah, so it's a dark type. It
In theory, it
burrows
helps.
in a nest. So a dark Pokemon that burrows in the nest.
It has a den.
Den,
you know
yeah.
that
So
has
it's like
a den.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the dark is such a type, right?
it is. It really
Like the
is.
problem is, it's like, oh, dark. My TCG knowledge is so great, and then there's like every good dark deck has been Darkrai and Darkrai and Darkrai. It's like, okay,
Like,
that's
I
the
was
only
thinking-
dark Pokemon.
I was
What are
thinking.
some other dark Pokemon?
I was thinking
in the Pokemon
Crobat, but
TCG?
that's 6. What about?
Ooh. I think
A stage 1 Pokemon that we play in Pokemon TCG?
we actually play it.
Oh wait,
Oh,
wait.
gosh.
Is it?
Some of us maybe play it more than others.
See, the problem is I'm going back to Thievul because I'm like,
Yeah,
I've played a lot of
But
Thievul in decks
there's never
lately.
been a good people though.
What, bro? Let Loose Thievul is so gas.
Nah, that's cap.
Well,
That isn't-
hint number 5 might help. It is from the Evolving Sky set.
That doesn't help me at all. I'm going to be
Well,
honest.
it kind of does. All right, let me think. Evolving Skies.
Oh,
Ultimate
a
brain knowledge.
state brain blast, or what does he say? Like, gotta blast.
Gotta bless.
So it's Evolving Skies, a stage 1 dark Pokemon that
Have I done a video on it? Because I feel like if I've done a video on it, I might
many.
know it.
I feel like you've done many.
Many, okay.
Because you can.
Many?
I'll give you another hint that's like not supplied by like Pokedex Word, but the card can be paired with a lot of other cards. Oh,
Oh gosh.
it works well with other maybe similar, or not even similar, but other stage 1 Pokemon.
Zork.
Oh.
Yeah, now.
See, that's not
It's
fair because
That
he
was
used
a good one. That was a good one.
Zoroark uses DCE, so it's not a dark type. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna claim that one.
Well,
My
video that I posted today was literally on a Zork deck. Oh my god, that's
and
crazy
no one
know
actually
that.
uses Zoroark's attack, right?
Yeah, no one uses.
You're
No.
transforming it.
That's why it was so
Choice
hard,
spelled Zoroark
because no one
KOs Mew V.
uses it. Yeah.
Oh.
I've done that before with
Oh.
Arcanine. It's fair.
That's why it was
very
so
necessary.
hard, because no one uses. Yeah, because no one uses Zork's attack. It's always the ability. That was a good one. And Zork's like one of the more like popular Pokemon too from Gen 5. That's actually I'm kind of sad that I didn't figure that one out, because Zork is
That was a tough one.
pretty popular one. Yeah.
I
That was
am
a tough one.
too.
Yeah.
Pokex Word, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every day, and they recently launched a new Guess That Pokemon puzzle, which is a ton of fun to play. Go check them out at PokeXWord.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter for your chance to win a ton of PTC geocodes every month.
Well, we can move on into the main topic of today's podcast. So we kind of want to know a little bit about you, Mellow. So we know you're a teacher. You're a science teacher, right?
Correct. Yeah. Biology and anatomy. Because everyone always asks, like, because science is so vague, right? Like, no one asks an English teacher, but.
Yeah. What kind of English? No, it's definitely biology and anatomy, two of my favorite topics.
Good choice. I
So
always
what
want to know a
kinda-
nurse who enjoyed,
Right. Yeah. What kind of got you into the Pokemon creation side of things?
Yeah, the creation side was the pandemic, right? So it was like I suddenly have a ton of free time because the school year was canceled because COVID, right? And it was like, well, what am I supposed to do with my life? And I'm like, okay, I guess we play more Pokemon. And then it's like, no, there's no one. There's no content creators outside of at the time. It was like, all right, Tricky Jim's on and Azul's on, and there's nothing else going on Twitch. And it's like, well, okay, I guess there's an empty spot. I may as well go for it. And so it's like, okay, cool. We're just going to go for it. And then I kind of realized, going back to the teacher part, like I am good at explaining things. Like I consider myself like a tier 2 player in that I'm worse than Azul, right? I'm worse than Mahone is a regional champion. I'm worse than Mahone. But I'm better than most of the people who are watching the game, and I'm much better at explaining than most people. So I kind of realized like, okay, there is a niche out there. It's not just like we need someone who's good filling this time slot, but also someone who can kind of explain the plays that they're making. Because there have been a lot of good players who jump on Twitch every now and then, and it's like, you don't realize why you're good. Like you're just saying plays that you're making without, like, no one's getting anything out of this. And it's like, some people are really entertaining, so it's fine, and some people aren't, and it's like, this isn't doing anything. So it's like, okay, we can help people actually getting better at the game and going from a good to a great player, stuff like that. So that's kind of like, I realized that there was a niche that needed to be filled at the time. I will safely say now, that niche is no longer necessary to be filled by myself, because
No,
there
I
are
agree.
a ton of people, which is super good for me, because like I'm at the point now where it's like, I got the baby. I'm no longer pressured to stream all the time because you can tune into Twitch most days, and there's someone who is at least at my skill level, who is good at explaining things. It's like, all right, cool, go watch them instead. It's fine.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed with like the pandemic, especially, there's been a lot of the big name pro players are like actually creating content now, like Tord, Grant, of course, like Azul. I know there's like at the time, like during like the online tourney era when it was at its peak, I know like Daniel Altavilla did a lot of streams too, and he had his like own tournament series. Like a lot of like the big pro players really started to create content during the pandemic, which
I can't forget there's like people like Andre, who I feel like goes under the radar, but top cut worlds. People like Frank Persick, who, second at UIC is another one that's like, there's a lot of people that I feel like people don't realize stream on Twitch because the viewership's not as much as it should be for how good they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, especially all of Frank's crazy decks, and Frank's an awesome person. So shout out Frank. He was our first guest on the podcast, so we definitely love Frank here. And yeah, I feel like there have been more people streaming on Twitch lately. I know I'm somebody who started recently during the pandemic as well, and I feel like in general there's more and more people streaming Pokemon, which is awesome. I love that people are doing it.
There's also more and more people watching, which is also really nice.
I agree, yeah.
So let's look at like LDF's viewership is massive. When LDF is online, in theory, the entire PTCGO viewer base should be watching him because there's 150 people in there or whatever, which used to be about the cap, right? Like Mahone would get a larger number, but then it's like Azul's a little higher than that, and then you'd be lucky if someone else had that. But now you can go on, all right, LDF's at 150, but then we can also have Sunny on with like 60 something people in there. I can still go on and get the same amount. And it's like, there's just more people watching it, which is so huge.
Yeah, I think the game definitely got a lot of growth during like the pandemic. Like in the past like year, like especially with like the whole like IRL, like TCG boom with like the whole Logan Paul stuff and everything, I've noticed like the growth on YouTube for me has been like insane. Like this time last year, I was almost at 20K subs, and now I'm at like 33.5K subs. So like the growth was just kind of insane.
But no, YouTube's the same, where I've been able to put time into it lately because my streams have been going less because like, well, I don't have 2 to 3 hours to sit down and ignore baby, right? But YouTube, I can put a little bit of time in here. I can record in multiple parts and just splice them together, right? And it's the same thing where it's like, oh, this is actually like really popping off in the same way of like my videos were getting like 300 views and I'm like, this is kind of sick. And it's like, to put the effort in, it's like, oh, the audience is really out there. Like it's not monopolized by anyone.
Yeah, it's not as bad. Like I would not say Twitch is monopolized, but Twitch definitely has like that kind of like ceiling where like if Azul or Mahone are streaming, it's hard to actually get a good viewer base a lot of the time. I try to stream when they're not streaming. Like even though like I can still
same.
Yeah, like even though I can still get like a decent amount of viewers, it's still like it's like I'd still rather wait it out type of thing. But YouTube you don't have to worry about that at all. Unless like
you can watch whatever you want whenever, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Like unless you're posting a deck that's been done by every YouTuber, like if you're posting like a Giratina V-Star deck and everyone else has already done it, then maybe your video's not going to pop off that much. But it's not like you can still like get away with whatever on YouTube as opposed to Twitch, where it's a little bit more monopolized, I would say. And YouTube, like you said, it doesn't take as much time when it does with streaming, where you have to commit a few hours a day to stream. Where YouTube, it can really take like an hour to make a video. You just sit there, play the game live, and then just like put it together, and boom, you got yourself a video.
The other cool thing about YouTube is, to go off of this, I streamed yesterday for the first time in 2 weeks, and I showed chat room a couple of expanded decks that I was like, I'm going to make YouTube videos out of these. Everyone in the chat was like, why would you do this? I hate expanded. But I'm like, I know that people are going to want to watch this. Like Kyurem VMAX is not something you either haven't done or haven't thought about doing an expanded, because it's so obvious with Smooth over Macargo, right?
Yeah,
that is something
exactly.
That is something that exists. People want to watch it, and that's the nice thing about YouTube is they can go find it. They can hate me all they want. They want to watch expanded Kyurem VMAX, so they want to go on the expanded ladder. My Twitch stream, they want to watch exactly what they want to watch at the time they want to watch it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with that with expanded too. Like I don't stream that much expanded. Like sometimes I will, more towards the end of the stream is when I'll stream expanded. But like if I post a video on expanded, it's usually on like a really insane combo. My last expanded video I think was Mewtwo V Union with Reggie in expanded. Trying to get a turn 1 300 damage off.
I hate it. Why?
It's so broken.
Oh my god.
Like if I do a video on expanded, it's just on like a ridiculous combo. Like I'm pretty sure like I helped blow up that like Dialga Electro deck out of nowhere.
Oh, that deck is so gross.
Yeah, like I did a video on that deck. Like Jake Earhart hopped to my stream one day, showed me the deck, so I made a video on it, and like it blew up. It's at like 50,000 views right now. Like it blew up, and like expanded is just I'm feeling you on that one with like the expanded content.
It should. If there's ever been a deck that has proven they don't care about expanded right now, that deck Electro existing is the deck.
Yeah. Expanded is just it's a mess. But I'm kind of the same thing, Yeah, it's a mess. But yeah, no, I'm the same. Like I would rather do videos in expanded than like stream expanded. I'm kind of in that same kind of mindset.
Because then people come into the stream and they're like, expanded, people leave. And it's like, that's literally their only message the entire stream. It's
literally people leave. I'm pretty sure I've seen that before too in my own stream where I'm streaming expanded, people leave, and then like I never see them again.
It's like first time chat expanded, people leave.
Yep.
Mellow, we always like talking about Samuel Simku here on the podcast, and some of our trolls, to say the least. Do you have any trolls, Mellow?
No, I'm not big enough for that to be a thing. So I have to give a huge shout out on Twitch streams. I have an amazing moderator crew. And huge shout out to Sancho Villa, who is the best mod in the community for sure. If anyone even remotely trolls, he will take care of it so fast. And if trolls get banned quickly, they don't come back. That's something that I figured out. If they troll a little bit, they will create an alt to come back. So Twitch, no, because my mod team is amazing and I love them all so much. And I gave them all gold quick balls as a thank you before the PTCG live migration that I never did. But it was like, it's like, you all are amazing. I love this. And YouTube, I am not big enough for trolls.
One day it'll come.
See, my mods troll me. So the fact that you have good mods, that's amazing.
I mean, I didn't say they won't troll.
Jake's always trolling you.
Yeah, no, my mods are always trolling me. Oh.
Yeah, my Twitch chat likes to troll me too. But it's more of like a meme type troll thing. Not like they're actually trolling me. It's more like they like memeing with me and stuff. But YouTube, YouTube's a different story.
For anyone listening who is a viewer of any of the three of us, there is a big difference when we say troll, a big difference between joking with us, pointing out the misplays, LOL told you the deck sucks, versus if you go into the Pokemon official stream right now,
oh my god,
there is a level of, I'm going to use the word troll, but we'll just say toxic, that is very different than making fun of the streamer. Making fun of streamers fine.
Yeah. Like I have like, there's like an ongoing joke meme on my stream that there was this person who made an account. It's the sexy guy 123.
Oh.
And like they kept coming in and just being like, oh, like you're so cute, like you're bad at the game, but you're so cute, and kept getting banned, and then they kept coming back as the sexy guy 1234, the sexy guy 12345, the sexy guy 12345 There was the sexy guy 123467. I'm not sure what number we're on now, to be honest with you, but
that's hilarious.
That's dedication.
Yeah,
very much dedication.
I'm flattered, but with those kind of trolls too.
Yeah, I guess as a female, you'll get like more like creepy trolls as opposed to like trolls.
Oh, and
like,
I will if anybody sends me anything weird through Messenger, through like Discord messages or Twitter message, I will blast it. I will put it on blast. I am not afraid.
Yeah, you like doing that.
I do like doing that.
Yeah, especially with the Lady Nuff situation that happened a few weeks back in that tournament.
Yes. Where I made that funny troll YouTube video of somebody telling me I'm playing slow, and then like 3 seconds later they're like, wait, I messed up, and then said that they misplayed because they didn't check their prizes. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's like, that sucks.
Cool.
That's okay.
Sucks to be you. You should have took your time. But I see you have like your whole little, you have like a cool frame there with all your Magikarps behind you. Yeah,
that was a gift from the wife. It was there's a couple custom cards in there too with like various art and like cute little attack names and stuff like that.
Ooh.
So
nice.
where did the Mellow Magikarp kind of come from? Where'd that name originate from?
Yeah, so like the most obvious thing was like, oh, I need a brand. Because it's like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And so it's like, I need something that universally can go along. My favorite Pokemon is Gyarados. And I was trying to figure out, and let's call it an alliteration. I'm not an English teacher. Is that the thing where it's the same letter? Anyway.
Yes.
So I wanted that. And I was like, what are the good G adjectives? And I looked up a bunch and I was like, these all kind of suck for what I want. And so I was like, okay, what about Magikarp? And then the Mellow was like a good one because like my like actual personality, if you watch me on stream, especially during the Players Cup, you're going to call me out on this one.
I've seen those clips.
But in theory, I'm a pretty like laid back person. We're just kind of like vibing, playing the game, chatting.
Yeah. Unless you get crushing hammered.
Oh my gosh. The Players Cup streams had some of the best clips in the world from me, but also just the amount of salt was unreal. And the amount
I feel
of like
that too. Yeah. I try really hard to not get salty on stream, and it's hard to hold back.
It's sometimes you have to, and sometimes the one thing I always have to work on to go off I think Mellow is a great name, except the like toxicity that I will have if I beat someone who has been like a jerk to me is always it's like chat's like, Mellow, what if that's like a child on the other end? It's like, well,
you're like,
it sucks. Maybe you should get good. Yeah, it's exactly. So yeah, that's where the name came from, though. It's like Gyarados my favorite Pokemon, so the Magikarp's close enough to Gyarados. It's turned out to be really good too. I feel like Magikarp is such an iconic Pokemon, and it's easy to draw. So like giving my emote artist the Magikarp, he was able to do some amazing things with it. Senior Doom, Zach Roy, who is one of the best artists in the Pokemon community. Shout out to him. He drew me all of my stuff, just like in between rounds of Limitless tournaments. He was like, "Oh, I sketched you your logo, or I sketched you your podcast's logo." And it was like, do I have to pay you? No, friendship. Cool, whatever, right? But it's like Magikarp is so easy to draw, has turned out to be a blessing for that exact reason of like people can just sketch it and it's like it works. I cannot draw to save my life.
It's a pretty iconic Pokemon. I mean, a lot of the PokeTubers that have existed that have like a Pokemon as their main mascot, Magikarp's a good one to choose, you know, because it's a pretty iconic Pokemon.
Yeah,
Everyone
definitely
knows
recognizable.
Magikarp. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And it's like, if I ever were to go into content creation full time, which is a big fat no, because I live in Seattle where that is not financially possible.
No, that's true.
I would stick with Pokemon stuff. Like it's so expensive here. Jay Witz couldn't afford to do it. And it's like, bro, that dude had, that dude had a following.
Oh, he did. Yeah. He's got like 1 million subs or whatever.
Right.
So do your students know that you, one, play Pokemon, two, do they know that you like make content?
So yes and yes. And the reason for that is last year. So I teach the same classes every year, and it's mostly juniors, seniors.
Yeah.
The seniors are for the Cambridge program, which for international listeners will sound familiar. For those of you who aren't, it's very similar to AP and stuff like that, IB. So they go through the program. I see them. They know I'm going to be there as their senior teacher, right? One of the students, Jack, played Pokemon. I've known him, his mom, and his little brother forever, right? Because they play Pokemon as well. He is very open to tell everyone. So like, I love him. He's so funny though. But yeah, I got top 16 in Portland, and there was a stream round on stream, and he shared it with everyone. He's like, look how good Kevin is, right? And it's like, okay, cool, thanks, Jack. So everyone knows that. They've since figured out the stream, the podcast, the Twitter. I will occasionally get tagged by students who are just like saying things, or they're debating something in biology or whatever. So last year's seniors, because of that, yeah, they are 100% aware of everything. They know I play Pokemon. This year's students, I don't know, but I'm like 99% sure, because they are a program, like I said, that goes every single year. You talk to the people ahead of you, they learn stuff, and therefore I'd be shocked if it's just not now common knowledge, because I say nothing about my life ever. I'm like, this doesn't affect your classroom. Like, I'm not going to tell you anything, but they figure it out anyway.
Does anyone in your family know you're a content creator? Like, outside of like your wife and obviously, but like people like in like, like people in your family and stuff, like cousins and stuff. No?
They know I play Pokemon, and that's about it. They don't know I have a Twitch or YouTuber. It's one of those things too where it's like, I don't share anything about my life for the most part. It's like, I don't know, this doesn't affect you. Like, it's fine.
That's true. Yeah.
I know, it's like
that's
it's so bad.
Fine. No, I like literally, I don't even think my parents know, to be honest.
Really?
like when my parents are in town, this is actually so funny. Like when my parents are in town, which they were last weekend, and they actually had to go home a day early because of the hurricane that was coming. So if you were affected by the hurricane, sending love your way. Hope no one had too much go on with that. I know it was really bad in some places down south. Luckily missed me. But my parents live in South Florida, so they were up here hanging out, and they had to go back down a day early because of that. But we recorded the podcast, LDF. We recorded the podcast last weekend when my parents were in town. And like, there's been other times where like I've streamed when they're in town, or like I would like make videos when they're in town. And like, I just tell them, I'm like, I just have to like record stuff. Like I'm like recording stuff. And like, they know I like play Pokemon, and like, but they don't know like any of this. Like they don't know like how deep it is. They don't know like.
Really? You got to show them the shuffle pod one day,
right?
Like hi, mom.
That's more listeners. Why would you not want to?
That's true.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Like I don't know. Is that weird? That like, I mean, no one in my family know? Like no one at work knows.
I don't think it's weird, just because if you're like me and you never share anything about your life anyway, because like same thing with my coworkers, I'm like, this doesn't affect our professional relationship. I'm not going to tell you what I did last weekend, which is like terrible. But like,
no, I think it's fine.
If you're the same, then yeah, it's.
I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest nurse at my job by like a lot, right? Like I'm the youngest one. I'm definitely like the baby there. And I feel like that would just be like another thing for them to look at me and be like, this is a child.
You got to
like
show that you're professional.
Like, yeah, right? Like I'm trying to be like the big old, like, I could be a nurse too. And if I'm like, I played Pokemon cards all weekend, they're going to be like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Or like if my patients know, they're going to be like, you what?
Or they might be happier. They might be like, "Oh wow,
they might
she's
think it's cool, right? Yeah, they might think it's cool."
I did have a patient play. She was playing a sword and shield on her Switch, like during treatment. I look and I'm like, "What you playing?" She's like, I'm playing Pokemon." I'm like, "Oh, cool."
You didn't say anything?
Oh no, I got too nervous. I was like,
No, see, that's
cool.
Like I run the Pokemon Club at school. I want to embrace, I will not tell anyone anything, but I will embrace everyone who wants to talk about it. Yes, please come. Know that it's okay to continue liking this when you're older, or, you know, all that other stuff. So yeah, I think that's one. No, you gotta say something at that point.
Okay, I'll go back in time.
There we go.
Oh man. But I was just like, oh.
Everyone in my family knows I do Pokemon, and all my friends know too. They all know I do YouTube and stuff too. So it's I still keep it private. A lot of people that I've met, I know from high school and stuff, I don't tell them that I do YouTube. But I'm like, you know, all my family knows. Every time I go to a family gathering, I think I've talked about this before on the pod. Every time I go to a family gathering, everyone there is all like, "So, how's the videos going today?" Or how's this month been on YouTube? And my little cousin's a big fan of me, and my parents are like fully supportive of the entire thing. Yeah, it's like there's like downsides and upsides to content creation. Some of my friends like to bug and troll me for doing Pokemon videos, even though like I'll break down, I'll be like, "Ha, my job is better than your job," when they try to troll me or whatever.
I love my job. How about you?
Yeah, exactly. I like my job. Like, sorry, but you know, yeah, there are upsides and downsides to like people in your personal circle who like they know about your content creation, what you do, kind of like behind the scenes or whatever, like what hobby you have and stuff. But you know, I've embraced it. I don't mind it. But you know, is what it is.
So LDF, I have the important question I think everyone wants to know.
What's that?
Do you, and this is something I'll never get because A, I never tell anyone, and B, I don't even make enough money to pay for going out to dinner every month. But do you get the question of when are you going to get a real job or anything remotely like that from anyone? Or are they all like, "Oh no, this is a real job that people do for money now"?
Yeah, no, I get that a lot, actually, especially from like some of my family members who are more like boomers and who like don't get the whole like they don't get the whole like Pokemon thing. They're like, "Oh, these young whippersnappers and their YouTubes and their iPhones, and back in my day we had to work hard to get our money." And then I'll pull out the YouTube analytics app, be like, "This is how much I made this month on YouTube." Yeah, it's my full-time job. Like I'm not even trying to like brag or anything. I'm just being serious. Like I get that a lot. They're like, they don't understand the ramifications of YouTube and the possibilities that come with YouTube. It's not just making YouTube. You get sponsors. You have other side content creation gigs. Like I stream on Twitch, which also adds to my income that I make, not only from just YouTube and stuff. And I don't like I'm happy that I'm doing YouTube full time now. It's like, it's awesome. I make a good amount of money where like I can like actually like do stuff like, because honestly, before the pandemic, before I was actually doing YouTube full time, I was like pretty broke. I had less than like $500 in my bank account probably. And I'm not going to like say anything now, but like, I'm just saying like, I'm like pretty chilling now, like compared to what it was before the pandemic and when I was in school. And no, it's awesome. And I get that question a lot where it's like, "Are you ever going to get a real job?" And I'm like, I show them what I do. I'm like, so I do a video every day. I do all this. There's a lot of work that goes into it. It's not just me sitting at my computer. Like they think being a content creator, you just sit on your computer and you're just doing whatever. Like there's actually a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. I have to constantly be creative. I have to pump out daily videos. I got to come up with new deck ideas. There's a lot of time and energy goes into YouTube, and people don't understand that. I might not be working 9 to 5 every single day, but you know, there's a lot that goes on with YouTube and content creation, like streaming for 6 hours a day. Like that's a lot of time that's a lot of time and energy you have to devote. You know, like I'm very energetic. I'm a very energetic person. And when I'm streaming and making videos, I, make sure I'm dialing the energy levels up to 100 so that I'm entertaining. And then after the stream, I'm like, oh, I need to go to bed. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot out of you. Like, and yeah, no, I get that question a lot from some of my family members. A lot of people like what I do in my family. My parents, fully supportive of what I do. They love it. My dad is a huge fan of my YouTube channel. My mom's pretty chill with it too. And most of my family is. And then you got some people that are like, I just don't get it. So I don't know. But being a content creator is good.
How can you make money on YouTube?
How can you make money on the YouTubes? Exactly. No, but it's pretty chill. It's pretty chill, I would say.
And there was a lot in there that I kind of want to mention for anyone listening, because this is something that I feel like everyone has been through at some point, right? Like if you watch Twitch or YouTube, you're like, could I do that? Is it possible? And I think what LDF just said is the perfect like example of like, yes, like literally everyone can do it. Now, it does take a little bit of luck, a lot of effort, etc., to get to these levels. I mean, and sometimes you might do it too early.
Years. Yeah. I was grinding for 7 years until I actually got this as like a full-time job, It took a long time, and I had to grind through school and everything, right?
That's a lot. But it's like, you can do it. It takes work. It takes a lot of like successes and failures where you're like, so I'll use myself as an example, right? I was like, okay, I can definitely do this. We're going to make the big bucks. I've applied for Twitch partner multiple times, been rejected multiple times. I literally, I've stopped looking at the numbers. I'm like, I'm never going to apply. I don't care about the stupid purple check mark anymore, right? But this is one of those things where like, I've reached that level. And I also have to say, it's very important to note the money thing. That level does not pay you anywhere near as much money as you think it does. And the grind is a lot farther than you think it is, to go off of, like I said, everything LDF was just saying there is it takes a long time and a lot of work, but you can do it. In fact, if you don't care about the success, I've turned my viewership off. I don't know my concurrent viewership on Twitch for the past 7 or 8 months.
That's a good mindset.
That's great.
To be honest,
I just show up and I play. It's amazing and it's great. And that's, if you just want to do that, freaking do it. Turn on your computer, start playing some games. If you don't like it, you just stop and never do it again and you're fine.
Yeah. So and that's actually, I want to talk about a couple things there, because I feel like a lot of people ask me that. They're like, oh, are you going to do it full time? And like, I've thought about it, but like, I don't think that I even want to, because I love my job, right? Like, I love being a nurse. I worked really hard to be a nurse.
Yeah, that's true. And you want to throw that all away, right?
Nursing school is
like, you don't want to throw that all away.
Nursing school sucks. Like nursing. Hey, if you want to be a nurse, though, it doesn't suck that bad. Go through it. But it's something that I could see myself maybe doing like part. I guess I kind of do it part time. But like Mellow, I wanted to like talk to you about that too. Like people who have like those jobs where it's like, hey, I'm not in a position where I can leave my job, or I'm in a position where I don't want to leave my job. So like, what does your, like, in a normal regular school week, we're talking about like, I guess probably like after pandemic, but like before baby, where you were like working, but, still streaming, like making content, doing all that stuff. What was like how did you like manage that time?
Yeah. So the good news is I really enjoy playing the Pokemon trading card game. And I think that's the first, that's the first and foremost thing. You literally cannot be you can, but you'll hate your life. If you don't like the game, you can't do it, right? So I was like, okay, you go to work, I don't know, 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. usually is an average like day at school for me, maybe a little later than 6, but you get the idea, right? And then you come home, and then Pokemon is not my number one hobby. My number one hobby is going to the gym and weightlifting, and bouldering is like another part of that too. Although I'm a pretty mediocre boulderer, it falls in the same thing. Like physical activity is by far my number one thing. So that always gets priority over it.
Must be nice.
There's also, it's actually really nice. I'm glad that like my one vice is something that's like technically socially acceptable and healthy, right? It's like, oh, this is fine.
That's true.
But so that's always like, okay, I have to schedule out like, well, I'm going to do, a couple hours at the gym when I get home. And then I'm the one who cooks in the family, which is, I love cooking. It's so much fun. And that kind of goes off with the fitness thing too, of I want to control what I'm eating, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, okay, I have to schedule out the 2 hours of the gym and then that. And it's like, well, when can I actually fit this in? And so I'd only stream 3 or 4 days a week. But the big thing was it was a consistent, like, okay, every Tuesday I get home. That's going to be my off day from the gym. I'm going to stream from when I get home until when I have to make dinner. every Friday. There was a tournament that ran at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock Pacific, which is perfect because I get home around 4-ish. I was like, okay, I'm going to stream this tournament. It's Friday, so dinner can be a little later than normal because we don't have to go to bed as early. So it's like very much scheduling around that and like being super consistent with it. And then someday on the weekend. The weekend was like, whatever, we'll figure that out. But it was like 3, maybe 4 days a week, depending if I did Saturday and Sunday. And that's exactly what it was. And then the YouTube channel suffered because I was like, oh, whatever, I'll do some stuff, which is fine. Yeah, because Twitch is way more fun than YouTube. Like, it's like you just hang out with chat, you get to talk, and you get the real time feedback. And yeah,
so I'm
it's
the other way
not even
around.
close.
I think it's funner to do YouTube videos than stream. I have like streamer block all the time. I think I'm going through it right now, to be honest.
Oh, you just show up and play. That's all I do. I've never thought about a stream in my life. Like yesterday, I was like, I need to stream. I haven't done it in 2 weeks. Go to Limitless Showdown. Vikavolt got 14th place. We're going to play Vikavolt for 2 hours, everyone. And it's okay, cool. Let's play Vikavolt. But yeah, that was my day. I had to schedule out everything because like, okay, I have to do the gym. Otherwise, I'm going to not be in the best place mentally. Like that's a very much a requirement for me, right? I have to schedule around cooking as well because again, like it's important to eat your meals. And at a certain point, like we're eating dinner at like 7 p.m., which in some parts of the country is like, no,
kind of
that's bedtime.
late.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, what West Coast, that's pretty normal at least. But it's like, I can't go much later than that, right? So it's like, okay, everything has to be scheduled out. And then the other thing about that, anyone who wants to go into content creation or is a content creator and is like, why am I not doing well? The consistency is what mattered.
Oh, for sure.
They knew I would get DMs or Twitter, Discord, whatever. It's like, so are you not streaming today? And it's like, no, I was caught in traffic. I will start very soon, you know? And that's massive. If people know when to find you and where to find you, it is huge. That's exactly what you need. That was the other biggest thing. Yeah. Cause if you're like, I'm going to do an impromptu stream on a Monday morning, not no one's going to show up. People will show up, but
not as many.
Exactly. Yeah. And you'll find some new people and it's super cool. But like, oh, Lindsay, you're going to stream the late night every single week? Perfect. We're going to show up to your stream every single week or something like that. The late night is a huge time commitment. I have never
very
played
much
in one.
is, yes, because it goes so late. It goes so late.
It is. Yeah. And I definitely agree with the consistency part. I feel like my Twitch channel has done a lot better ever since I started doing like the consistent Monday and Thursday streams. And I'm like, there's been multiple times where like I would have to cancel stream, but I would tweet out like, hey, parents are in town, like gonna have to like going to see Elton John, got to cancel the stream for tonight, or I'm not feeling well, because like there are days where like I'm like, oh my god, I have a huge headache. The literal last thing I want to do right now is sit in front of a computer and stream. And I'm not gonna lie, I've had those days where I would stream anyways, and I feel like not only could I tell that it was not a very good stream, I feel like the chat could tell too. And I much rather 100% do what is better for me mentally in that moment than stream and it be bad and me be pissed and not be happy and then chat's not happy. Like, it's consistency is good, but also.
Yes. And that's another one to go back to the streamers block that LDF talked about, and to go off of that one. This is where my niche as a highly competitive player who's very good at analyzing and like digesting information, giving the information helps. I've had those days where it's like, I really should stream. I don't want to play Pokemon today. Hey, let's all look at Trainer Hill data for an hour. Chat room wants to do that. They enjoy it. LDF, you've seen it before too. For some reason, the lowest effort tier list videos get the most views, and it's really upsetting, and I hate it, but I have to do that because everyone wants to see them, right? And it's the same thing here.
Yeah.
Let's go through the matchup spreads. Okay, let's check out the Japanese tournament results and just look at deck lists and talk about why they're good or not. And it's like, there's very little effort on my end. It's supposed to be low energy on my end because no one wants to hear someone yelling about the the deck lists that did well in Japan and be like, oh my gosh, they did that. Right? It's like, oh, hey, look, they played 3 Sableyes. That's kind of cool. Why would that be good? So that's definitely to go kind of combo off of both of those. Find that like one thing that you can hopefully do is another good thing of like, I have a low energy day or I don't want to play Pokemon and I need something like, all right, let's just go English commentary over the Japanese stream. Go.
Yeah. Or even do like a set review or something. Just something like low effort, low maintenance, doesn't require you to like think too much. I've had that before.
Let's rank the top 10 GXs together right now.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to talk about their favorite GXs, right?
Yeah, let's see what new tier lists are up on the tier list website. Let's do some tier lists, stuff like that.
Or make
right?
one. Like
Yeah,
I made
or make
one for the best support Pokemon of all time.
Mhm.
People freaking loved that thing. And it's like, it's not effort to
Just
put
stuff like
Cleffa
that.
as the S tier, but people want it, right?
Yeah. Like
People
that's-
like to debate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I
for
do
sure.
too, to be fair.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, me as well. Me as well.
We all like to debate. Yeah, because I get that all the time when I'm like I probably want to stream today. I haven't streamed in 3 days, but I'm like, do I really want to stream? Because I try to stream for at minimum 3 hours, and then sometimes I go past it if I'm actually having fun, like I'm playing a fun deck, then I'll go past 3 hours. Usually I'm stretching for 4 now, but like some days I'm like way too tired. I'm like, do I really want to stream? I just ate dinner. When I eat dinner, I get like really drowsy after, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go take a nap, and I wake up and I'm like, I'm too tired to stream still. Like I don't feel like it, and then some days I just don't want to stream, or someone wants to make plans with me right as I want to stream. This happened like 3 times in the past week where I was literally setting up. I'm about to go live, and then my friend will call me or he'll message me or whatever, be like, hey, you want to go do this? I'm like, do I want to do that, or do I want to stream for 3 hours? I don't really have like an agenda of what to do. Do I want to play, X deck for 3 hours, or try to get, decks for YouTube? And I'm like, yeah, I'll go hang out with him instead. I can stream another day. Like I'm in that, like I get that mindset a lot. But like with YouTube, I can just make YouTube videos all day. If I had to make 5 videos in a day, I'll do it. I have way more fun creating YouTube videos and playing different decks than actually streaming for some reason. But I do enjoy streaming a lot. But it's like, it's just weird how it works. Like I'd prefer to do YouTube videos over live streaming.
We are the exact opposite on that.
Yeah, like y'all are the exact opposite, but yet I have way more fun doing YouTube videos. Like I'm not saying I hate streaming. I just get like streamer burnout, or I just don't have the actual energy to stream, and I don't feel like it, or something will come up like I said, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm not streaming today.
Now you're gonna have Samuel Simcoe come in and be like,
oh, no.
LDF says he hates stream. LDF hates us.
LDF is a freak. He'd rather walk around Toronto in Slowbro costume than stream on Twitch.
LDF freak hates streaming.
Hey, if they're trolling, they're listening though. So
That's true. They're giving
they're paying attention.
They're algorithm, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Keep watching, Samuel. Keep coming back,
Keep
buddy.
coming back.
Oh, goodness.
It's so true.
What do we think's happening in Peoria right now? There's like a regional happening like right now.
I know, right now. I don't think Pokemon have started to stream yet.
They are just starting it. I got the notification.
Oh, look at that.
I'm gonna call it. I only have a few streamers who I have the go live notification, but the official Pokemon, their Pokemon TCG one, is definitely one.
Definitely,
of them.
oh yeah, for sure. I got that one too.
I feel like there's going to be mostly Lost Box, like because it's cheap. I feel like a lot of people pooled a lot of the cards, and it's like annoyingly good. I feel like it's going to be mostly Lost Box, and I think there's going to be a few up there in top 8.
You know what's ridiculous about Lost Box? It's not that cheap. Like it is cheap,
I mean, the Sableye.
but the Charizard's like 30, and the VIP
That's true
passes
about
are
the
5, and Sableye's 4. Like,
well, hopefully people already had Battle VIP passes before they freaking shot up the rocket,
I know. I just sold like 4 of them off yesterday at the local game store because I'm like, oh, these are like really expensive. Oh, take them. I don't want them.
I have so many. Like those in Scoop Up Nets. Scoop Up Nets are like $7.
Nets are harder to find though, in my opinion. VIP is easier to get because it's newer and it's from a trash set, but VIP or well, I hate to say it, Future Strike's a trash set. There's a reason why booster boxes are like $80, but no. But yeah, ScoopNet is harder to find. I bought up plenty of Rebel Clash, and I have not pulled a net once. It's
I bought the
pretty
Inteleon
hard.
battle deck.
That's true.
10 out of 10.
And,
That was the move.
Yeah, nets are in the trainer toolkit, right? The Luminion one.
Yep.
Yeah, so are Battle VIP Pass.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. There's 2 of them, I think.
Oh, okay. Because I know it comes with Capture Energy and nets and drizzles.
Those products are so good. Shout out to
They very much
TPCI
are.
for hooking us up.
Well,
with
yesterday
everything.
at my league yesterday, I was literally watching somebody building like an Arcantel deck from scratch, and me and my buddy were helping him like kind of construct it from the trainer toolkit. And he's like looking through. He's like, okay, you want to put 2 big charm in your deck. You need more than 2 drizzles. You probably need 4. You want 2 Inteleon. You should play 5 water energy. Like I was helping him build it from that trainer toolkit. It's such a good product. It comes with so many good staples. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the trainer toolkits.
Mm-hmm. Very, very good.
Anyway,
product.
we're on the Peoria meta before the rant about how some cards are just so expensive now.
It's insane. Yeah.
Stonks. It is. Yeah.
Very
I mean,
much stonks.
you can even without the I can't tell you how many times I played against the Lost Box deck, and they have Charizard in it, and like I don't even see it, right? Because they just body you with Sableye. So like I feel like you can have that deck even without the Charizard. Plus there's the build that uses the Greninja instead.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like that deck is so easy to build. I feel like it's actually kind of harder to play. You do have to kind of like map it out. It definitely is harder to play.
I agree. I agree.
Especially with closed deck lists, right? Like you don't know if like I've actually seen a lot of Kieran Palkia recently running Cheryls because of these Sableyes, because they're trying to spread the damage around on the VMAXs and the V Stars, and I've seen a lot of Cheryls being used with the energy recycler. So it's like you never know what someone is playing, obviously in a regional, and I feel like it is a little bit harder to play out, but I think it is a very good deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's like the easy, like I think that Kyurem and then the Mew DTE deck are like the three like most popular decks going into Peoria, I think, or the ones that people are going to pick up on the most, I would say. I think people are really going to take inspiration from Alex Shemansky's late night winning Lost Box deck with like the 3 colognes. So yeah, I think Lost Box definitely is popular.
Mew is definitely the one that I had to keep telling, because like a bunch of people were like, I'm going to play Mew. Should I worry about the mirror? And I'm like, yes. You should worry about, no, I don't think so. It's like, no, I've been asked by like 7 people if they should worry about the Mew mirror. Like everyone wants to play Mew because it's really, really good.
Really good,
like,
yeah.
See, but like, what about Drapion? I'm so confused. Like, what about Drapion?
You can beat a Drapion.
Yeah. Plus you have Lost City, and sometimes they start with it. You get an early 2-prize KO. So you're already up on the prize trade. They can't race you at that point because you'll go knockout. So
yeah, Lost City terrifies me.
It does depend on what's like in the deck, as far as like Giratina, for example. I would have, if I had gone, I posted on Twitter the list I would have played. I had a Drapion in my Giratina list because you go Star Requiem plus Drapion and you just win the game, right? But a lot of decks can't do that. They can get the Drapion 3 prizes, and it's like, okay, how are you going to come up with the next 3? And that's where it gets hard, because especially, this is my favorite thing on ladder that I did. The list that won the Limitless Showdown was correct, because they go, haha, Drapion KO. You go Roxanne, Path, Knockout, and then they proceed to dead draw because they have no board state, because they did that on turn 2, and it's pretty good. Yeah, so Drapion's very good. I would have played a Drapion for sure, but it does not auto win the matchup at all.
No, it definitely doesn't. It's good, but yeah, it doesn't. You have to have a game plan after the Drapion, unless you play like Rod and they don't Lost City you, I guess. Like I've seen some Arceus lists play Drapion just for the ability to just be like, all right, I can take 1 knockout on your Mew. But sometimes against Mew, you can go like Drapion knockout a VMAX, KO a Genesect, and then KO the Oricorio. I've seen that happen too. So yeah, I think Drapion, though, definitely is something that people are going to consider. And honestly, if Mew does really well at Peoria, I think Drapion stonks are going to go way up. Because people are going to realize, okay, I'm going to pass Stardine Drapion's in my deck now to beat Mew.
Yeah, you add 2 in there, and then you're auto-winning Mew.
Yeah, then you auto-win me. I'll just play quad Drapion. My deck will just be 4 Drapion, and I just auto-Mew.
Yeah, then you're you got like the 4 Drapion, the 4 Empoleon, and then like...
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
After 2 hours of Vikavolt yesterday, I ended up with 2 Drapions in the deck, so it's not unheard of. Although to be fair, that deck uses Drapion V-Star.
Yeah, that actually uses, the V-Star for the extra damage.
I thought that Vikavolt was going to be a really, really good play at Peoria. Because not using your items like kind of sucks, right? Like not being able to use your items, like it super sucks.
It's pretty good against Lost Zone decks. I'm not sold on the Vikavolt deck though. I think the deck's kind of like mid, because like Vikavolt just doesn't do enough damage. It's good when it works. Like if you get item lock to stick and your opponent kind of bricks, you win a lot of the time. But I can't buy into the hype on that deck. I don't know. Like I feel like it can't beat Arceus decks. It probably loses to Mew also. If Mew just gets lucky. Like I don't know. I don't know if I can buy in on the hype on the Vikavolt deck. I don't know.
I am hype on it, and I'm helping people test it for Salt Lake City. Not the version from the Limitless Showdown. That was one where it was like, oh, let's just play it and see what happens. But Vikavolt needs either a bad Kyurem player or Kyurem to not exist. And the Arceus matchup is very bad. Yeah, because Kyurem taking 60 damage a turn when you have a Zapdos down is like, okay, you are 8-shotting me right now, or whatever the math ends up being.
Yeah,
right? It's like I have plenty of time to knock you out.
And the Vikavolt deck doesn't play Path. They play Pokestop.
I love Pokestop though. This is again just ladder shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
People keep clicking Pokestop under item lock, and it mills all their good cards and gives them all the items they can't play.
Literally,
Please do not do that if you're listening.
Literally, I talked about that my last stream. I'm like, you cannot take the Pokestop bait. Why on earth would you click Pokestop when it only gives you item cards and you can't use item cards? Don't do it. It's not going to help you. It won't help you. It won't do it.
That's hilarious. I can
It's
just
so
imagine
good.
the opponent doing that, and then they just send like the frown face emoji in the game.
It's like, oh,
Or
cool. You just
well-played.
milled the boss you needed. Sick.
Like there
Thanks.
is just something else about like the rush of like clicking a Pokestop though. Like it's almost too much to handle sometimes. Like it's like you look and you're like, I really know I shouldn't click that, but oh my god, what if I just get like the best 3 cards in the world? But it's
I
like
do it all the time, and I regret it all the time. Every time I do it, unless my deck is like 50% items.
such a rush.
There's also the decks where it's so good in, like playing Vikavolt. I click Pokestop, I hit nothing. My opponent sends me the green smiley face, and then I Melanie the water that I milled and turn 1 item locked them. And it was like, yeah, it's like I wasn't actually looking for anything except that water. Like,
yeah,
so,
like I'm trying to discard things. Thank you.
so there are the benefits. Or like Reggie's the same way, right? You're like, I don't have to hit anything. I want to mill the energies. Like, I don't care about the items.
That was me at Baltimore with Pokestop and Reggie. I was like, all right, Pokestop, I'll play it. Oh, I lost boss research. Oh, that's fine. I hit an Aurora. All right, turn 1 Reggie, I go attack. There you go. Like,
right? It's like, I need those Auroras. Like, that's all I need to hit, and I win the game.
Exactly, yeah.
There were
had
a lot of people
Pokestop
playing
from
Reggie.
but
It's
Zach
very good.
Lesage, shout out to Zach Lesage. He's on Reggie at Peoria. He tweeted it out.
Yeah, I have a lot of my
And I
locals
played it
playing
yesterday.
Reggie.
Mm-hmm.
I know now that we're
Oh,
past it, I know
Caleb Gettimer is playing Reggie too. I saw in the one of the pictures day 2 event posted. Caleb Gettimer is also on Reggie too. So there's another big player on Reggie.
it's very good right now. I think people are sleeping
Very
on
good.
the. So everyone's like, okay, Lost City, you lose to Mew, right? All right, here's the tech. I'm predicting this is what we got. 3 Reggie Giga.
I
Then you just win, right?
Too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like you go, okay, KO, and they're like, hi, Lost City you. And then you go, all right, I'm gonna hit something. You're like, oh, I got your other Reggie. Like you lose the game, and then you're like, no, I OHKO your last Mew. Like it just
All
seems
you gotta do
so
is to get 2
obvious.
Mews. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm. I've even thought about just playing 3 of each Reggie. Like, honestly, like, I actually think that is not even bad, because then that gives you higher chance of actually starting with the Reggie, and then you have 3 in the deck, so you can find the consistent turn 1 full board Exodia even faster, and then you don't have to worry as much about Pokestop. Like, it's actually something I've considered. Empoleon is easy to be. I play 4 Path in my list because you just smoke Empoleon. Empoleon, oh, I got Empoleon, can't do anything. Okay, Path the Peak, Reggie Lucky knockout. Oh, I got another Empoleon. Okay, Path, Reggie Lucky knockout. All right, now what do you got? Nothing. Okay, cool, I win. Like, yeah, Reggie is just, it's so good.
It's very good.
Yeah, I've thought about the triple Reggie of each, or even like playing like 3 Dragos. I've seen people play the Evolving Skies Reggie Drago. And then also, yeah, 3 Gigas is something I've thought of too. Like, I think 3 Gigas is also really a good idea. So
We lost my team challenge match to a Reggie deck who teched in that Evolving Skies Reggie Drago for. We had Cal Connor on our team, and he'd only played Mewtwo Control, which he's a very good player, and he's very good with Control. But they were like, oh, he only plays Control, put this in. And I was like, oh, wait.
Like,
this is actually a
that's
bad matchup now.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there are definitely reasons to play that card. And I think Mewtwo Control is not going to show up in Peoria, but I think as the meta narrows
Mewtwo's
down,
kind of bad now, I think.
nah, you play Path and more mill tanks for the Empoleon and Kyurem becomes a good matchup, right?
Yeah, Kyurem's pretty free, I think, for
Lost Zone is already a free matchup.
Yeah.
What about
What about
Giratina just
Giratina?
knocking
Yeah.
out the Mewtwo?
No, they need to play Path for that, right? Because
It's an
the ability
attack.
of the
But Tina can go belt knockout though, and they can lost vacuum like a
If
big
you're playing a
Parasol or
belt,
Tool Jammer
yeah.
off though.
no, but you
that's
can't
why-
because remember it's prevent all effects of attacks. Star Requiem is an effective in attack, so you can't start. Well, you can start Requiem it just does nothing.
Yeah, but I feel like you can just Giratina just go choice belt knockout Mewtwo in 1 hit anyways with their main attack.
Yeah, you're assuming they play a choice belt.
They always do. Tina with 2 belts, and they got one. They got lost
Belt's
vacuum.
trash. Belt's trash.
Nah.
Tina with the Gucci belt.
No, I'm Team Mewtwo. Mewtwo will do well at one of the upcoming regionals. I'm gonna book that right now.
I mean Mewtwo. I think Mewtwo like farms Lost Box, right? Like that's like free.
Oh yeah,
like,
Mew
it's
is
free.
also, if you tech for it, is very free.
Yeah,
I mean,
very
I
free.
feel like spreading 16 damage counters any way you like is like never bad.
Yeah, and I feel like you beat Lost Box with the heal loop. So I've been playing around with Lost Zone V Union decks because you see so many cards in a turn. It's not too hard to find the V Union pieces, and then as long as you don't like Comfy 2 pieces away or Colress 4 away, the deck's actually kind of busted. I was playing with Mewtwo V Union, and I played against the Lost Box deck. They had the Charizard and the Snorlax, but they kept using Snorlax, and they'd hit me. I'd go heal. They go Charizard. I'd heal. They're like, oh, I can't attack again. I've used up a lot of my switch. I heal. And then I just keep an infinite loop alive against Lost Box. And I just win, and they just immediately conceded the game. And I'll have like a turn where Snorlax stays asleep, and I'll go, all right, I'll knock out 2 Comfies, or I'll 16 damage, knock out your Charizard and your bench. I'll keep the Snorlax alive.
Just asleep.
Mm-hmm. I think Mewtwo's pretty good. I don't know if it's good with like Arceus or if it's good with Lost Box or the control deck is good. I'm not sure on the control deck yet. Depends on how people attack for it. Maybe Sanders playing control if he's at Peoria right now, or maybe.
Speaking of streamers, Sanders streamed the other day a control deck that was really sick.
Oh,
Sanders streams?
Leak it.
Sometimes it was Ditto control, and the thing is, you would use you'd use a loop of Lunatone, Bunnelby, and Regieleki. And so you'd Lunatone to rearrange their top 4 cards of their deck. You'd go like bad, bad, good, bad, right? And they would top deck a bad card. After a Roxanne, right? They top deck a bad card, and then you'd Regieleki back something, a Palpad, whatever, and they top deck a bad card. And they have a good card on top. You would mill it with Bunnelby. They top deck a bad card, and the next turn you Lunatone again. And you would do the same thing. And if they have too many good cards, you can Misfortune Sisters them and then Lunatone again or something like that. Because all their outs are like items, right? So Misfortune Systems is disgustingly good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like it was really good. It's been good in my testing also because I'm a degenerate control player sometimes. I will be honest.
So like Sander, if you're listening, I don't mean this in a bad way, but like, are you like an evil genius or something? Like,
but he's a control god.
He is, but like that's just so scary.
It's disgusting. Like you can lose for sure because Sableye is still very good, and you can't hand block. So you can also more Pico the Sableye, but then you're not controlling the top decks and you're not doing the thing. But yeah, but the more Pico with Torment is also incredibly good in the deck.
Speaking of the Morpeko, I know you made a tweet about this. The top 8 deck from Baltimore, the Miltank Morpeko deck. Yeah, that like they didn't stream.
Well, it's from my YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was so. Shout out! We haven't even mentioned the name of the Lake of Rage podcast. We had Jack Moore on, who made top 8 with Miltank Morpeko, which no one knows because I never streamed it once, right? But the original list came from Alex Cook, who played at NAIC and hit too many Palkias because Palkia is a pretty sketchy matchup, right? But we made a YouTube video with the list of like, all right, let's run through everything, and we clickbaited just properly enough that people clicked on the video. And then that's actually where they took the list from. And then Jack ended up making it with that deck. And it was like, I get why, after talking to Jack, why he didn't get streamed. He played almost 0 cards all of day 2. Every single match he hit was an auto win that had no Miltank answers, or he got scooped into cut by Piper, right?
Funny, yeah.
But it's fun to be salty at the stream of like, why are we watching so much Mew and no more Pico, right?
Yeah. Can't wait to watch the Arc Intel mirrors they might be having at Peoria, because Arc Intel's still good in the meta. Arc Intel beats I think it can beat Tina, and it can beat Lost Box like easy, like it's easy against Lost Box.
Yeah, I still think the Mew matchup's good.
Yeah.
I think if you know how to play the Mew matchup, absolutely it's good.
Yeah. If they show any Arc Intel mirrors on stream, I'm like, oh nope, I'm gonna go outside, touch grass.
Yeah, we're gonna just go get a big old gasp of fresh air if they're playing the Arc Intel mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get some broken Reggie mirrors.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah, broken Reggie, as in PTCGO has gift energy banned right now because of some sort of bug.
What?
So in the middle of my tournament, I had to drop because I could no longer play my deck online because they had like just banned gift energy. There was something about like a bug and it needs to be fixed. So like you can't play anything with gift energy in it online right now.
Nice. Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Reggie.
Well, with that said, we'll have to see how the Peoria results go this weekend. I'm excited to see what people cook up. I'm for sure like certain somebody's going to bring like a really cool concept that hasn't been thought of yet with either the Lost Zone engine or whatever came out of Lost Origin, and they're going to do really well with it. But I think that'll be it. Yo, Mellow, do you have anything else you want to say? Anything you want to plug before we head off?
Yeah, I stream on Twitch sometimes, twitch.tv/mellow_magikarp. I have a YouTube, youtube.com/mellow_magikarp. I have a Twitter where I have not learned yet that Twitter's not monetized, so I put a lot of effort into making good tweets. Mellow Magikarp on there, and I host the Lake of Rage podcast. So if you like podcasts, and if you're listening to this, I assume you do, you should check us out. We are very guest focused. Our last few guests have been Jack Moore, who got top 8 at Baltimore, Henry Brand, where we talked about our Lost Origin testing, and Cal Connor, who had made top cut at Worlds. So that's a lot of very good players with a lot of very good insight. So if you like the
100%.
Pokemon trading card game, check those out.
Yeah, absolutely. This is our first crossover episode with somebody who has a podcast as well. And again, me and LDF have both been guests on the Lake of Rage podcast, so definitely go check them out. We'll see you again next week on next week's podcast. Everyone have a good day. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you in the next one.
The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectibles, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com and at the checkout screen, make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectibles will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
The Shuffle Squad is partnered with PTCGO Store to provide our community with the best access to Pokemon TCG codes. They have codes available 24/7, instant email delivery, and you can save 5% off by using code TSS5. If you're a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, you'll have access to a special code that gets you 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Use code TSS5 today and save 5% on your next order of codes on any codes available at ptcgostore.com.
Poke Word, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every day, and they recently launched a new Guess That Pokemon puzzle, which is a ton of fun to play. Go check them out at PokeXWord.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter for your chance to win a ton of PTCGO codes every month.
Check out the Late Night Series Season 6, brought to you by myself, Zach Lesage, and the Shuffle Squad. We're going to be running a bunch of sick events for the Pokemon community, and they start on August 30th. So one thing you might be noticing here is that there's an EU time and an NA time. We have one at 12 p.m. Eastern, which works out to about 5 p.m. in London. And then we have one at 7 p.m. Eastern, which should help out a lot of players on the West Coast play in this event. That being said, we still have a lot of cool things going on. Expect similar prizing that we've had for other Late Night Series events. Expect better staffing, expect better tournament experiences, and of course we do have a stream going up for this season as well, and I will be streaming the event on Twitch. That being said, we have the whole season up on the Play Limitless website. Late Night 51 all the way through 70 runs until we hit the Invitational on November 5th. So check that out, sign up today, and support Zach Lesage Events and the Shuffle Squad. See you there.